funding for women-led startups has gone up from 11% in 2017 to 18% in 2022. Now, as an entrepreneur, as a founder yourself, what's the change that you've noticed in the way that investors look at women-led companies?
The ecosystem has had a massive shift. One, in terms of even the number of female founders or, single founders who are also women and not co-founders. But second, I think there is, at least in the last 2 years, I haven't been into an investor meeting where there has been a gender lens attached to the conversation. And that's, an extremely positive sign, because in our early stages, and we've been an organization that's been up since 2015. So when we were raising our angel round, or we were raising our, first institutional round, I did see that come through even in conversations. But at this point of time, there is no gender lens attached to investing. And I've also seen that, in the market that we are in, I think women are great at finance. Women are great at managing resources and at maintaining highly profitable organizations. So I think there has been a bit of a wave which is more leading towards women and organizations that are sustainable and profitable, and a lot of them are led by women.
But speaking of the road ahead and challenges, Aakanksha, and this is something that, again, we've been talking about, and that's what your report is highlighting as well, that while India actually leads many markets, many economies when we talk about female graduates in STEM at the tertiary level. In fact, we lead even the developed nations like the US, Germany, UK and France, as per the World Bank report. But women's representation at startups in tech and R&D continues to be a disappointment. It's not translating into career opportunities and employment. What will it take to change that?
Yeah, fabulous question, Shereen. I think it goes back to what Suman said, right? So much of it is rooted in culture. And I think if you start peeling the layers there, a lot of it really comes down to the beliefs, the values, the cultural DNA of an organization, right? And I think one or two of the things that I hope this report does is that it busts some of those myths, right? So for example, if our belief is that women want more flexibility, and that's why they're falling off the workplace, which, by the way, truth be told, I mean, that was one of the hypotheses that we went into this work with. We thought, workplaces are probably not working for women because they need more flexibility, and startups are, go, 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 and they can't provide that, and that's probably why women are not making it, right? But the truth is that the report has shown quite clearly that at least men and women joining startups are joining for the exact same reasons. And even when we peeled, the data there, we found, twice as many women said they had joined startups because they valued innovation. 40% of them said that was really important to them compared to 20% men. That's another bias, right? Typically, we feel, okay, it's men who are attracted to more tech and innovation type of jobs versus women. We feel that this report kind of that. We found that, 10 years in, 75% of women were saying that, shattering the glass ceiling, growth, ambition, these are very important things for me. So I think a lot of it comes down to, are we really listening to our women? Because if some of these biases are not corrected, then I think HRs, organizations, managers will continue to make decisions such as, women probably want more flexibility, let's move them into roles that are non-P&L or non-business roles. You stop prioritizing hiring of women at senior positions, which actually is one of the biggest levers, like Suman said. To have women on top, it starts changing everything. It changes how you hire, it changes how JDs are structured, it changes who sits on the interview panel. You start hiring and promoting women very differently. So to answer your question, I think one of the big things that we hope happens is we correct some of these biases. And for all of these same reasons, women-led startups, because they have this DNA in them, they have the lived experience, they're more understanding, they understand when flexibility is needed, like Supriya said, creating the safe spaces, protecting women's share of voice in the organization, all of these things become really important. So our hope is that, a lot of the work will need to be internal work at the founder level often, and then, really kind of attacking the culture, the DNA, the values, the beliefs, with supporting, policies, practices, goal setting, we feel can be really important. Once founders and organizations are clear that this can really move the needle, not just in how they operate as an organization, but it has clear business repercussions. We get the best talent, we do better.
Suman, I want to come back to you. And so much of our conversation has still been around experienced as well as perceived biases. Through the course of the research work that you've done for this report, what are the top 3 biases that continue to exist when we talk about hiring women in the workplace?
It's the same everywhere, right? The biases or kind of, what people consider as, conventional wisdom is that women want flexibility. They're going to step off the career ladder because of life reasons. They're not going to be as aspirational as men are or as dedicated as men are when it comes to a certain age bracket, right? So you'll find all of these kind of creeping in when it comes to making hiring decisions, promotion decisions, all of that. We oftentimes, my favorite one that I hear as an HR practitioner is, when you're promoting somebody, so-and-so is going to go on maternity leave. Why don't we wait to see if she comes back or when she comes back to promote her, right? So all these biases exist. But what I'm liking about the startup ecosystem is that they are busting a lot of these. And I'll tell you why. First and foremost, I think diversity is not just a nice to have thing. It's not just a women's issue that, we all sit together and discuss. It has to be a business decision. You said this, Shereen, India has some of the most educated women, including in STEM. And the fundamental thing all of us in startups talk about is this war for talent, not just in startups, across all corporates, right? We have such a huge demographic advantage. We have one of the best educated workforce, or rather, student force. Why are we not leveraging that? Or if we leveraged it, just imagine what we can unleash. And that is truly what I believe is the power that we need to unleash for India. It hurts me that when I see, participation of women so low in India, I think we deserve to do better. And that's why I think diversity, especially gender diversity, has to be a business reason, a business issue to solve for, because we all want great talent. And if you exclude 50% of the demographic, you're never going to be able to win that war on talent.
Yes. Supriya, I'm going to end with you. We're celebrating Women Entrepreneurship Day. And as a woman entrepreneur, what is it that you would like to say, not just to other women who are looking at the possibility of entrepreneurship or women who have already started their path and their journey with entrepreneurship, but also parents, partners who might be listening and who will need to come to the table to encourage and support women who want to become entrepreneurs?
So I think one of the things that I've seen over the last couple of years, Shereen, with women who are looking at starting up or are even looking at joining leadership positions in organizations, is that the biggest reason for failure for them is actually self-doubt. And that comes from not just what they're feeling about themselves, but what their family says, the expectations that they have to meet at home or with their partner. And I think there isn't a safe space to have that conversation, to just let it all out and to, come to terms with who you are and not question yourself again and again. So I think we just have to be a lot more confident in our own abilities, and we need to have a support system that encourages our confidence and doesn't slam us down at the littlest of things.
Supriya, Suman and Aakanksha, many thanks for joining us here on this special episode of Young Turks. So we wish you the very best of luck and look forward to hearing from you with better data, even more better data next time around. That's it then on this edition of Young Turks. We'll see you again next week. Till then, from all of us here, goodbye. Thanks for watching.